Oh, look, y'all see that
Come on,
intro? Can beats in this place.
If
Man.
y'all don't have an engineer, you can't have ours.
You can't have ours.
But you can't have ours. You can't have ours.
We will share him, but not during our time.
Yes.
But who are we?
Y'all better find y'all some engineer up in here. We need to marinate on that a little bit. But that sounded good.
Man, I was in the background just jamming.
I'm like, oh, we supposed to be talking right now?
No, not yet.
Because the music was.
I know. It was so lit.
It was a vibe.
By the hand.
Y'all see, the hand is in the. Yes, that's the hand. Yeah, bring the hand back in. Thank you, Tommy, for real. Can Beats, our engineer of Expose the Podcast. Yep.
So I'm Laverne Badger.
And I'm Natalie Hayden.
And we are
Expose the Podcast.
I feel like I should take some vocal lessons instead of paying somebody to do that part, right?
I agree. Let's keep
going
for it.
Better?
It has gotten better over the seasons, yes.
Expose the Podcast. Or maybe it should just be real sexy. Exposed the Podcast.
Maybe another time.
Telling you, everybody needs them a real friend.
Another time. It ain't working. Another time.
What's up, girl?
Well, first of all, I just saw something on the wall. And, it may not be the Hall of Fame, but we on a wall somewhere.
We made it to the wall.
Y'all.
We made it to the wall. So we're in the studio in Sherman, Phoenix.
So greedy.
Yes. And they have a wall of podcasters.
Yes.
And we up there.
We done made it on the wall, y'all. It was a complete surprise.
I know. We've been in here many times, and we were actually just looking up, admiring
somebody else's work.
We was like, and we like,
that's us. Come on, Expose the Podcast. Season 4, y'all. If y'all don't realize and understand, we are down to the wire. Season 4, we have some really great things that we got coming up. We are planning an escape. Expose the Laverne.
Yes.
Laverne, what we doing?
Escape, aka self-care resort getaway.
But we about to be doing some work too.
We working. It's definitely a working.
Excursion.
Yeah, we'll be just down the street in Illinois, in them Illinois streets.
Mm-hmm.
But much needed. Right, because we take it serious when we want to make sure that we're bringing the best content and organizing. Because again, we both still have jobs, and
until we don't.
Natalie keeps saying that. I keep saying we both still have jobs, and she throw that until we don't.
And we're fully working for ourselves. Yes, you gotta claim it. You gotta speak it into existence. You gotta see it. You gotta say it. Even when people think you're crazy. I know you might think I'm a little crazy,
but that's why I love her. I did think she was crazy, but Natalie has y'all don't know her, there is something about her. Like she's a manifester. And I just love that about her, because that's what complements us to one another, is because she grew up and have something about her that allows you to always be very optimistic. I grew up, and the experiences that I have allowed me to be, I don't consider it a pessimistic, but I consider it, I get offended by that word, but I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to have a backup plan, or
be realistic.
Be a realistic.
A realist.
And so, but together,
yes,
the yin and the yang, because Natalie will give you her whole shirt, and I'm like, girl, you still cold. Like, we can't give all the clothes away.
Well, when you give up your shirt, another one will come right to you. She'd be like,
eventually, but in the meantime, you done caught pneumonia. You out here with the
and that's
flu.
When you take your vitamins and you get your flu shot.
But that's what balances us out. So today is going to be about just us catching up. We were out last week because of Thanksgiving. So we're going to do some little rants and some catch-ups. So bear with us, y'all. Hang out with us a little bit. So how was your Thanksgiving?
It was really good. It was very fun filled and packed. In the midst of Thanksgiving and spending time with family, there was a wedding I attended and was
Yes.
in my first wedding ever. And just the complicatedness of things, I just sat back and thought, like, I'm in my ex-husband's mother's wedding.
Can we repeat that?
I'm in my ex-husband's mother's wedding.
All mother-in-laws are not horrible, and relationships still can happen after
After,
divorce
yes,
happens.
yes,
So
yes.
shout out to Robin and her Bobby,
Bobby,
her
Obi,
new husband.
yes.
I was at the wedding. It was beautiful. She actually inspired us to have a segment in February on love,
The love
after the love
series.
series, right?
Yeah.
And so she's a woman of a particular age,
Seasoned,
and
y'all. She's
she's
seasoned.
seasoned. And so finding love and her story and her journey, I just think it's imperative that we hear that, because I think when
Yeah.
you get to a certain age, like maybe you're like, okay, I've been there, done that, don't want, love don't live here no more. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That kind of
Right.
concept, but not her. So y'all have to stay tuned for that in February. So
I'm really
we
excited about that.
I'm excited about that.
So yeah, that was my weekend and my Thanksgiving, but it was really good, and I'm glad that you were able to come and experience that part of, my life.
Right.
It was a good thing. But how was your weekend though?
It was jam packed. So even with about a week before, we usually have Thanksgiving Eve at my cousin's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we all just kind of come, the cousins and stuff, and extended family. We all come Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving Eve and Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day we usually hang out with our immediate families, or husbands' family, or spouses' families and stuff. So we utilize both days. Well, this year,
this year, drum roll.
This year she was like, no ma'am, I can't do it this year.
So where the hell we gonna be?
Vern, we should do it at your house. And I'm like, wait, say what now? I was just getting my dressing together to bring over every year. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, now I got to get this house together.
The whole house.
Man, so
you were scrambling?
Man, we bought a house last year, October. I think it's September, October. So you know how it is. You're still trying to figure out the decor, and I've been procrastinating, and I still had boxes and kind of what the vision is you want, but I'm like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. Girl, when I tell you in 3 days,
she was getting to it, y'all.
I was getting to it. I was like in everybody's store, putting up this, putting up that, making wreaths. It was just like buying. I bought a white rug
with her grandkids.
I said, we gonna go on with this white rug though. But it looks great. So I'm glad. It was a little stressful, but everybody had an amazing time. I'm glad it kicked my butt into gear to get my house together, because I walk in there now and I'm like, ooh, this is
my house.
This is what I envisioned. And I can move on from that. And so, and just kind of add and get in the holiday spirit without that stress. But
that's what's up.
But I did go to work on Monday thinking like, dang, it's over. I didn't feel like I had a vacation. I'm telling you, I felt like, but I enjoy seeing my family, because we didn't get together last year and during the holidays because of the pandemic. So I totally enjoyed it.
I think I shared with you, because it's not a day that I think we really don't talk. And if we do, we're really busy, but we pick it right back up the next day. But I think I did share with you what I was missing. I think I was having a moment. Do you remember that? During the day, I was like, Natalie, are you okay? Remember I said that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I think I called Laverne and I was like, I'm missing like that hosting piece, because guys, I used to be the bomb ass wife. I mean, I put it down. I mean, I was a great host.
Can we get a
I mean, I was. I mean,
right.
I mean, right. And if I can toot my own horn, I was just, and so not that I was envious.
Was you a good cook?
I wasn't. I am an amazing cook.
You're a good organizer?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you clean?
While I'm doing it, yes. Hello.
Is anybody complaining about that bedroom action?
Absolutely not.
The only downfall is she ain't having nobody's babies. Now you come on up in here and say this is the wifey material, you better come with your own children, because that ain't unless you come in with a nanny for that next child.
For the child. If you have an allotted budget for the child, all pair or a nanny or a nana, yes,
you better have your own.
You might want to have your own. You might
want to have your own, because that door is closed.
That door is closed for now. But he got to be talking a sweet game.
Yeah,
a sweet, and I mean all the boxes got to be checking.
Right.
But we ain't gonna talk about that. But
she's a great wife, and so she's beautiful. Of course, she's beautiful, and she has.
Are you selling me?
I am. We put in atmosphere.
You got a pimp now.
Thank you, Tommy. I don't know what's happening here.
Behind closed doors, we can't. If you want a husband and want to be a wife again, we have to speak that into existence, baby. I was keeping it right.
She keep clean, you know what I mean?
She can clean. She can do all of that.
Turn the sunshine.
That's right. So can.
So, but no. I'm not. But I'm boasting about you, because I think that at the end of the day, that's what you acquire to be, is a wife again. Like, it hasn't tainted you. Because you were, that relationship didn't work, you still love the institute of marriage.
I do. In that wedding, I think I was sharing that with you too. I listened to the words. I stood up in this wedding, y'all, and it was like I was standing up there, and I didn't know who my husband was, but I was looking right at the preacher, and he said, "This is serious business."
Right.
And you cannot enter this union without considering X, Y, and Z. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Although I went through a marriage and it wasn't all bad, but guess what? We didn't quite make it, and it served a purpose. And when I got divorced, I was like, oh, I'm never doing it again. But when you see what love can endure and what it can do, and it's more than the outer shell, but it's about that friendship, and it's about being there and showing up in ways,
having somebody. When I look at Richard, sometimes I be like,
how you look at him, girl?
That's mine.
That's mine, girl. You better claim it as yours.
That's mine right there.
Y'all, that's hers. Mine. You better get your hands off of them.
Right. So I'm like, but then I love the fact that he looks at me like that too. Like, she mine. Like, or just even feeling like somebody, I belong to somebody.
And
like,
that is
somebody
a good
in
feeling.
The world,
yes,
that is like, she mine. I would die for her. I would fight for her. I would advocate for her. Like,
that's
truly
me.
Have your back. Like, who wouldn't want that in the most healthiest way? You know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing. So that is something that I have put out, and I've seen it. I dream about it. The face is just blank.
That's all right.
The face is just blank.
As long as that criteria is okay, right?
Yes, as long as because you can't, I think as women we want to say, oh, tall, dark, and handsome, gotta run me this list. But really you want what the word says about him, because if he ain't matching up in that area, you got some problems on your hands.
I don't care. Go on about your business. Denzel, go on because you can have a Denzel or a Boris or a Morris
Chestnut-ish,
but be a hot mess.
Or Can Beats.
And be a hot mess, right? So but be specific. But I think that changes as you get older, right? We hope that we mature enough to learn lessons from previous relationships to be better.
Would you do the whole ceremony all over again?
Absolutely, and I sure would.
Yep, she already picked the branches and the natural resource wedding. I always joke about it because it ain't a
hugging wedding.
It ain't the fluff wedding, but it's beautiful. It's gonna be if you can envision it. I feel like if you can vision it and you can see it, that's where the manifestation comes, right?
I have an appointment next year with Laverne.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do, Laverne?
We going to try on. She going. I'm already married. She going to try on dresses, and I'm going with
Oh,
her.
really?
Already made an appointment.
Ain't nobody asked
proposed
her to marry her
at all. I'm not even in a
Mm-mm.
committed relationship.
She not.
But
This sounds like a Hallmark Lifetime.
It do. It feel a little crazy.
It feel a
we
little
got back
crazy.
in the car because we went looking. The reason we ended up in that store is because it was next door to a space that we were looking at for our fundraiser. Look out for that. For fitness, our fitness fundraiser. So we went and looked at the space, and right next door was this wedding place, and
it looked super bougie too.
It drew her right on in, and so we got
super bougie.
It drew her right on in, right? And so she was like, "Let's go in here." So we went in, and then we got in the car. She said, "I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm okay." Because I was like, "I'm just going with the flow." She made a whole appointment, and I'm like, "Did somebody propose to you? I don't know. Did you get a? First of all, did you get a man?" Because
no,
I'm confused.
I am jumping several steps.
Yeah, but I was like, "No, you good, girl. I'm all right." But in my mind, I'm like,
"She crazy.
She a whole cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right?" But that's how Natalie is. Like I think that's part. I feel like that's part of your energy and the way you manifest things, and if that's what you want, because Natalie walks to her own drum, the beat of her own drum.
Yeah. That's why in 2011, Mike McCarthy had the Green Bay Packers the night before the Super Bowl all try on Super Bowl rings.
I believe that type of stuff.
We had them do it.
That's exactly what it is.
And they won it.
That's it.
You have to believe it's already yours.
Yep.
You know? Yep. And so I know it sounds crazy, but like that is just how I do live my life, literally in that way. I mean, I'll speak to this because it just literally happened, and I'm not the one to brag on anything, but I literally would see Jeeps and I would envision myself sitting in one. And then I had a Jeep on my dream board in one of my classrooms, and then I would just look at Jeeps on Pinterest, like all types of Jeeps. And then I had a friend that had a Jeep, then another friend had a Jeep, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just go test drive a Jeep. Didn't know I was gonna. And then when my car, I love her, she gave me 4 years. She gone. She gone.
You can put that little putt inside the Jeep she has now.
But I'm telling you, I went to the Jeep dealership. My uncle works at the brand new Jeep dealership in Glendale, and he said you can get whatever you want. And it's not like I was surprised, but the one Jeep that they let me just take out and drive, it was manual. That's the Jeep that I drive today.
Yeah.
So like I had to literally see it and feel it, and like tell myself it's already mine.
It almost sounds very similar to my purchase, but only thing is I didn't test drive it.
Okay.
You just went.
You want to test drive it? Like, no.
I just want it.
I know what I don't care what it ride like. This is what I want.
This is what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, I did the same thing. I saw a commercial like when they first made the 4-door ones. It was a commercial, and it was the Fat Boys was beatboxing. And stick them, and they kept flipping the Jeep upside down and taking the doors off and all that stuff. I want that.
Yes.
And that was sold.
Wow.
Yeah, it's totally a transformer type.
I know
vehicle.
it made me want one, and I'm like, I ain't never thought about wanting one.
You'll never get stuck in the snow.
Never.
I park in crazy places on purpose,
just so you can.
We should go do stuff together.
You can Tonka truck yourself up out of that.
You can go in the parking lots, and they have the plow, and it's like a parking spot that's halfway snow.
Right.
You just park right up in there.
My car be sideways. Like this. I could fall out the passenger side. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get up out of here.
Shout out to the Jeep family. I did join the 414 Jeepers here, and they're a group of ladies that have Jeeps, and they do community work in the city. And this past
week, just not cosmetic. They having fun with it. They give it back to the
giving
back
to the community. Jeeps?
Nope, it's actually other guys too. But the 414
y'all don't invite the women into that group. It's
414 Jeepers, but I think G's Beach Clippers and them. They
she invited me to that. You guys had like a parade or something.
Yeah, they did a parade, but the girls, we do a lot more other things. Like for Christmas, the Thursday before Christmas, we're Christmas decorating our trucks, and we're passing out gifts.
That's dope.
So we literally are using our Jeeps.
We're at the air horn today.
But yes, I believe in manifestation like crazy, and I manifested this amazing co-host, y'all. Richard, she mine too. Right. I feel a certain type of way. She mine too.
Right. So we're gonna hurry on up and get her husband so we can both be sharing husbands and wives and the most innocent
way, y'all. Right? Get your minds out the gutter.
I know.
But
so congrats. So when you were saying we got an appointment for wedding dresses, I'm like, I'm here for it, because I know you're gonna make an amazing wife. Somebody is going to, and the husband that God sends your way is going to be absolutely amazing and made and built and born for you.
Amen to that.
So that was our weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But we try not to dwell on the negative stuff that happens around, but we want to talk about it because we want to send love and support and prayers to
the Waukesha community for sure. I know serving with the city as the vice chair for the Executive Commission, Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, we were really pressed to send out a statement. And I know me and Laverne, we share those same sentiments and condolences to the families and the community in Waukesha, because there apparently is like a domestic violence link to that situation. And so the case is still fluid. We don't have enough information to like put a stamp on it, but we at least want to put out there that we stand with those that have lost and that are grieving, and those that are making and finding a way to get through this. We're standing with you. Yeah. So
the sad situation, it just was. I don't know how. I wouldn't even. I couldn't even imagine. And having so many kids around who witnessed that, we don't know what that's going.
I sat and watched that with my daughter, and Riley was like, we go to parades all the time.
Yeah.
And I said, I mean, you don't know what to say to that.
Right. Right. It just was a fluke situation. Like that was a troubled individual for whatever reason, decided that that's what he wanted to do. So I'm glad he's off the street. It appears that he's off the street right now, and the healing process can start for that community and those families. It's going to be a long road for them. Long road.
So, from one tragedy to another.
So, what is this fool's name? Zach Stacy.
Y'all seen that video where that guy just straight mollywopped?
Ex-NFL player, bum ass.
Oh boy.
Don't get me, you bum. Like, I feel like I usually don't watch the videos because they get in my spirit, violent videos like that, because they, especially DV ones. And so I was reading because usually I can read it and then kind of get an image of what's happening without watching a graphic video. But I watched that video, and he threw her around that room, and I posted it too, and I put trigger alert, because it could be triggering. And I don't always post those either, but for some reason I just felt that I was so angry with him, you know what I mean? Like, and it triggered me in a way because his voice and his tone was very familiar.
I did not hear that. I just saw the video.
How it was his demeanor and the anger in his body language, all that was very familiar to me. Even her reaction, how she folded up and was covering herself to to block blows was all very familiar to me. And I just thought, you bum. Like, they supposedly weren't even together. And
Don't matter. It never matters.
And it doesn't matter, right? It just, but we all know that probably wasn't the first time, right? So that was not the first time that he physically abused her, and she later admitted that. And she did come on and did I think Instagram video about thanking everybody for their support, and she is going to be moving forward with pressing charges. Yes.
One thing I'm super excited about is that the accountability piece. I mean, I tend to sort of skip over the, what happened, even though it is extremely, tragic and unfortunate. But who's going to hold this guy accountable?
Right.
And can we make an example out of him to show, hey, guys, if you're watching, or hey, girls, if you're watching, hey, if you're watching, you will be held accountable for those actions. And so I'm just grateful that, whatever he had lined up, they're gonna snatch all that shit away.
They snatched a little bit of advertising or
snatch it all away.
Or what is it called? Sponsorship or whatever from him. They want no parts of him no more. You put that out, they put that out, and as they should. So you didn't look like you had much money anyway, fool. But now you have nothing, as you should, because you don't have the right to do that to another human being.
I want to come in and ask you a question. Mm-hmm. So what if he decides to say, well, I'm dealing with some mental health.
Okay.
And, I really do need the help. We talk about this cancel culture, this cancel type thing. Do you believe in second chances?
Absolutely. But you're going to have to start over when I take this money from you, though, these endorsements. Mm-hmm. So you still have to be accountable for this, the consequence part. Yeah. So you still have to be accountable. I'm not saying that after you've been accountable,
there is a chance to redeem yourself.
Yes, there's always a chance, because we all need that grace as well.
Thank you.
I may not be abusing anybody, but I make mistakes. I might have hurt somebody's feelings, or I've done something wrong or wronged somebody somehow. I want to be able to have that same grace, but it's not without consequence.
I think that's so important that we also say that too. As all of us, even though we have a specific conversation about domestic violence and those that are abusers, we know that people can change. All of us have the ability to make mistakes, and we all have an opportunity to redeem ourselves. And at the end of the day, we just want the abuse and violence to stop. That's all we ever want.
Keep your hands to yourself,
and that's man and woman. Like whoever is the abuser, we just want that to stop. So if it can stop and you can get the help that you need, listen, we are good. We winning, because that's really what we want. She let him in to, really just see his child. She wasn't trying to withhold. We don't know the story, but if he was to come around and say, and hopefully there's someone that can reach out to this young man and mentor him and guide him and give him the resources he needs to get help. Because
he a whole ex-NFL player. He got some resources. When you choose not to take advantage of those resources, is because you don't feel like you have a problem. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she probably wasn't the first woman. And it definitely wasn't the first time that he abused her. Mm. And so you're aware of your behavior, but you're choosing not to get the help that you want. So I believe he has resources available to him.
Well, y'all help him. Shit.
Well, take the help. God damn it. That's where I'm at with it.
Help the man. Y'all, people should be flooding his inbox with, hey nigga, you need some help. Just somebody.
I was looking at the comments, and people were saying, this is not a black-white issue. So it was one of the comments was like, I'm an African-American woman, and I say put his ass under the jail, because it's not about race. It's what he did to her. Well, it didn't matter if he was white, black, Hispanic. it doesn't matter what the race was. What you did to that woman in that video was disgusting, and you should be held accountable. So I have talked way too long on this food, but I'm glad that the girlfriend decided to, the ex-girlfriend decided to press charges, and I'm glad that she and her baby are healthy because
and safe.
Right. So the baby was there. Anything could have triggered, slung over, hit the baby somewhere in his seat. It just was a mess. But when you, that rage is real. That rage is real.
So hopefully, young brother, you can get some help. Praying for all that's involved.
Yeah. Next is those women that are coming out and being transparent about their experience with domestic abuse.
Not just any old women. These is women that are connected to some, they got some names attached to them. And it's interesting. It's like more and more of these women are coming forward because I think they feel like it's time, and they're not the only ones that's, going through this. Right. And they're not far removed from it. It's like they fresh out.
Right. So I said, Natalie, I was looking, Richard sent me a video, and it was Ashanti had an interview with her sister. They were on some radio station, and her sister goes into talking about how she was just 3 years ago in a domestic violence relationship, physical abuse,
unrecognizable, y'all. It was horrible.
They showed a picture of her, and wow. All I can say is wow. Not to say that, it's as much as we always say anybody can get it, right? It don't matter how much money you have, what status you are, whether you're a celebrity or don't nobody know your name. Domestic DV anybody can get it, right? But it always still is surprising when you hear that someone at a celebrity status is in that type of relationship.
It's not surprising to me. I mean, I don't really understand why, but it's never surprising to me because I do know that DV is not biased to anyone based on status, race, color, gender, creed, religion. Domestic violence, it hits all of us. So I'm never surprised. I'm just like, okay.
Right. So her sister ended up talking about it. And there was apparently a whole family fight. Ashanti was like, she got involved, like you hit my sister kind of attitude. Like,
it's more than a hit. It looked like he pounded on her.
Yeah, her whole face and mouth was destroyed. But to be able to come out of that and be transparent. And so now she has a foundation that now I take that back. She is doing work on domestic violence awareness. So one more individual who has certain status that can bring
awareness,
insight to the DV is always a plus.
Yeah.
So yes. And speaking of that, the next person, high level energy, beautiful, amazing, comes from a family of talented individual is Angela Simmons. That is Reverend Runs from where's
Run DMC?
Run DMC, girl. Look how I done had a brain fart.
I'm like, girl, Run DMC.
My card.
Your whole
my black card. Right. Run DMC. Reverend Run's daughter, Angela Simmons. Amazing young lady.
I don't know much about her, but
they had a little a reality show that I used to watch, and they were young when that reality show came out with Reverend Run, his wife, and his family. And so just entrepreneurs and socialites in the celebrity scene and stuff. And so she came out and started talking about how she was in an entirely a DV relationship. You don't realize until you're in it. She just was like, it wasn't, it just sort of not came out of the blue. You see the signs, but then you start justifying this, or if I did this, or I don't do this, that this behavior will stop.
Mm-hmm.
So she was actually, when she told her story, she was actually on Taraji P. Henton's Facebook show.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Oh my God, Taraji. We gonna be on
and this
that.
This is a Facebook show, like the Red Table Talk.
Yeah, around mental health. We're gonna be on Taraji's couch. All right, Taraji, give us a call, girl, because we absolutely adore you and what you're doing right now. And I think we should be on the couch.
Yep, thank us. Put us on the couch.
I know, but she is bringing a lot of celebrities are starting to talk about
their mental health,
creating platforms around mental health, making it okay to have a therapist, making it okay to talk about, your trauma and issues. And so Angela Simmons went on there and she started talking about her DV, but then what did that do? Had Taraji talk about her situation, that she was. And so I read her book, and she spoke on it then as well. But to create a platform, and I just was like, I'm loving it. It's sad, but I'm loving it at the same time, because it is making, and just Black women in general, being able to say, this is what happened to me. I should not be embarrassed by this, and it is not okay. And now you're in a place where you're healing, but in that place of healing, you're willing to help others, right?
Yeah, I think let's bring it down to a level where you don't have celebrity status,
right?
But you have family members and you have cousins and you've been through something. I think it's necessary to, when the space is provided for you, to look out for that cousin. I mean, that actually happened to me the month of October, where there's family members that have seen you go through your circumstance. They've watched you, and secretly they are going through something, and then they finally say something. Yeah, this is what I'm going through. Can you help me? You never know who's watching, and you never know whose life you can directly impact. I think it's so important to not think that you have to have a status. You don't have to have this or that, but you have a voice, and people need your voice, and to know that your pain breeds purpose. Whatever you've gone through and you've sustained a life, and you've come out better because of it, and you might still be working through some of that shit. I mean, to be quite honest, but it's so necessary to know that there's somebody that needs what you have and that can benefit from the mistakes that you've made. And so that's really the pretense and the like the catalyst as to why we speak about our experiences, because we know that somebody will hear and say, well, you know what, maybe I don't want to do that. Those are the signs that she overlooked, and maybe I don't want to overlook this. So although Taraji P. Henton and also like all of these celebrities, they're coming out, you might not be a celebrity, but know that you have the same amount of impact to help save someone's life. And that's the mic drop for me. Tommy, you got anything on that?
We got real serious for a minute, but DV is serious.
It is.
I was looking for a mic drop, but there's no
mic to drop.
Sorry. We on YouTube, we dropping the mic right now. We dropping the mic.
Oh no, I don't even have that there.
That's okay. It's okay.
That's all right. That's.
There we go. Bring it in.
Right. Let's lighten this mood. But kudos to everybody who is definitely making sure that DV awareness is 365 days, not just in October.
Right.
You know, let's start talking about this. So, all right. So I think we have summed up our weekend. And the holidays are coming. I ain't ready for Christmas. Everybody keeps asking me, am I going go get a tree? And I'm like, I'm just gonna decorate inside the house. Do I
Yeah,
really need a tree?
I did
I bought
it.
the little two, the little planter by the door.
Mhm.
Girl, I bought 2 snowmen. The
Y'all, she got
and
snowman.
and a Santa Claus, and I stuck them.
Y'all, she got snowman, y'all.
I stuck them. That's my outdoor decoration shoot. I'm like, that's as much as I'm gonna get, right?
That's the Antichrist Christmas.
I said, y'all, she got.
That's
Laverne, what are you gonna do with those
But
snowmen?
if you come indoors,
it's a whole nother story.
You just ain't gonna see a tree just yet. I ain't been inspired for the tree yet. But
yes. Well, we are sending to you and yours love, peace, and less hair grease.
And so from Exposed
Podcast.
All right, you guys. I'm Laverne Badger.
And I'm Natalie Hayden.
And until next time.
We'll see y'all next week. Hey.